A lot of gardeners think that this is too basic to teach, but I know as a new gardener that sometimes it really helps to have every single thing explained to you. Hi, my name is Rachel and welcome back to Auxhart Gardening. Today I'm going to go over how to direct sow beans. And many gardeners are going to feel like this is a very basic concept, putting seeds in the ground. But when you're a new gardener, there's a lot of information that is overwhelming you, and you may even start to second guess what's the right way to put a seed in the ground so that it's going to grow. If that's you, I don't want you to be embarrassed about that. Everybody starts at this very basic beginner level. If you are wanting to know how you plant a bean in the ground, that is totally normal. I mean, I started out that way too, and I'm here to take you step by step through the sorts of things that you would think about as you're planting a seed in the ground that are second nature to a lot of experienced gardeners, and I find that they don't always take the time to explain these things. They expect you to just know them. Alright, so when we are talking about sowing beans, most people are going to direct sow, and that means you put the seed in the ground where you want the plant to live its whole life. Whereas some people, not a lot of people, but some people will transplant beans, which means they will start them indoors in little containers, and then they will let them grow for a couple of weeks and put those started plants out into their final resting spots in the garden. And with beans, you really could do either way, but a lot of people direct sow them because often there's not a need to transplant them or start them early. Because if you are going to start them early, you'd only need to start maybe 1 to 2 weeks ahead of time. The biggest reason people start seeds early is because they take a long time to go from seedling to like a medium-sized plant, whereas something like a bean is going to go from baby to big plant really fast. And that's a big reason that it's not really usually worth it to people to transplant. If you're somebody who wants to make sure that every single spot in your garden is perfectly filled in a nice, neat, straight row with a plant, then maybe it might be worth it to you to transplant your beans so that you can make sure that all of them germinate, all of them sprout, and that you can set them in exactly the right place that you want. But I'm not that type of gardener. I'm more than happy to have a little bit of a haphazard garden and not have to worry about disturbing the roots of my plant after I have put it in the ground. And especially with something like beans that grows fast and harvests also fast, I find no reason not to direct sow. But if you were to choose to do that, that's not wrong. With beans and with any seed that you're planting, there are two main things that you need to consider as far as the actual physical planting of it goes. You want to look at, one, what is the size of my seed? And that's going to determine how deep you plant it. So for this seed, I'm going to go down about this far, and that is approximately double the size of my seed. If you have tinier seeds, you don't sow them as deep. And if you have bigger seeds, you're going to want to sow them a lot deeper. And this is just a general rule of thumb. There's going to be some fluctuations between specific vegetables, but if you follow this general rule, then almost all of the times you're going to get it right. The second thing you'll want to consider is how far apart am I going to place my seeds? And this is a whole subject on its own. I made a video about it, plant spacing 101 sort of video, and I talk about in that video how sometimes seed packets will have a plant spacing recommendation, and that's not always right, especially for home gardeners. But you'll want to go and watch that video. For most vegetables, for beans, I'm going to tell you that for bush beans, this is about a good distance for them, especially if you have really good, rich soil that is able to feed your plants adequately. One of the things you're thinking about when you're thinking about spacing is, are they going to get big enough to shade each other out so that they can't get access to sunlight? And are their roots going to compete for limited resources? And one of the factors that you can control when you're trying to plant things a little closer together is how much resources are in the soil for that plant. So if you can make sure that they have enough resources, you can go ahead and go with the minimum planting distance. Alright, so I'm just going to show you real quick from my perspective what it looks like when I actually put this seed into the soil. I'm going to take my finger and make a little bit of a hole, and you can use a tool for this if you don't want to get your fingers dirty, but I prefer to use my hands for pretty much everything. You're gonna go ahead and drop your bean into the hole that you made and then cover it up with dirt. And this last step, where you press on the dirt, you're making sure that your seed is getting good contact with the soil. And this contact with the soil is going to allow it to absorb moisture and get immediate access to nutrients and support from the structure of the soil as soon as that seed sprouts. You're not trying to pack the soil in really, really hard. You just want it to be firmly seated, nestled there in the soil. A good rule of thumb when you are planting anything, transplanting or direct sowing, is you want it to be moist when you do plant it. And so either directly before or after you plant, you want to make sure that you water really deeply. Make sure that after you're done watering, you can stick your finger in the soil and feel that it is physically damp all the way, at least to the depth that you just planted your seed. After planting, you'll of course want to keep it moist until it sprouts. And a little hack for this, if you're planting outdoors, try to plant like the day or the evening before it's supposed to rain for a day or two in a row, or even if you're somewhere where it doesn't rain a lot, if it's going to rain the next day, that's the perfect time to go ahead and plant or transplant something out, because then nature is going to do that work for you. If you're interested in learning more from me, I have an entire series of videos for new gardeners. It's called Gardening Basics, and this is going over a bunch of topics that new gardeners need to know about. I am consistently adding to that list of videos, so go ahead and check out that playlist if you want to learn more about gardening. Additionally, if you're new to the channel, I do a garden tour every single Wednesday. I show you everything that's going on in my garden, and I do this because I want to show you what a real garden looks like, what real expectations you should have, and I want to take you through my thought process of how I'm continuing to learn what I'm doing in the garden. Because even though I've been gardening for a few years, there are some things I still know very little about, and I want to model for you this trial and error process so that you see that it's not all flowers and huge harvests. And I don't want you to look at those people who are only showing you the flowers and the harvests and get discouraged. I want to show you the failures and the things that die and talk about why and how we're going to fix that. Alrighty, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, I wish you happy gardening.